Content is being sent to a third party. Okay.
So um, if it doesn't give me the link to share, then how would somebody find it?
Oh, it says we're live right now.
So if it doesn't,
Oh, fuck.
that's that delay is going to kill me.
Oh, no, 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 no. That was through my phone.
No, I mean the delay that I'm hearing.
Is it? We're live. Can you find a link to share? Or just, can you te
Oh, jeez.
we're live. You don't need a link. Welcome, everyone, to Lala's podcast with Justin and Clayton. I'm Clayton with my buddy Justin. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. Um, Let me call this miscreant to see if he can see me. You're freaking out right now? You're
I'm at the
locking
point
up.
where I'm vapor locked, dude. I don't even I don't even know what to do because we're on like a 30-second delay.
Huh.
Hey, what's up? Sorry, I was watching Trump's
I
greatest hits.
think it might even be. No, I'm
Hey,
not freaking out.
go to my
I'm not
YouTube.
freaking out. I'm just like, what am I supposed to do?
Go to your YouTube.
Yeah, go to the YouTube link I sent you and see if you can see live.
Okay,
Do
let's
you see
see.
a chat on the side, Justin?
I'm doing everything on my phone.
That's
Hold
fine.
on.
Mute it though, because the feedback will be obnoxious.
I understand. All right.
Ugh.
I'll mute you.
That's not what I meant.
Oh, wait a second. This might make it easier. I muted my
I
YouTube.
won't mute you. What'd you send me?
The link for the podcast's channel YouTube page.
Is that through Gmail or WhatsApp?
Jesus Christ.
My
I sent
Mark
it
or my daughter
I sent it to you in a
sent,
text.
sent me a text, let me know we're live. Like, yeah, I know we're live, and I still don't know what we're doing.
From Jake. That's not you.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Uh-uh. I'm looking at the text for this number, and I sent right before you said, let me get on your podcast, I sent you a link to my podcast's YouTube channel.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say yo right now.
Yeah, you texted me, yo.
I'm doing it right now, literally.
Yep, I got it. Oh, you're saying it, yo, on the chat, on the YouTube chat? I want you to sit there and look pretty. J Justin, no, you're good. You're being very helpful. I, I want you to I want you to take a breath for 30 seconds. Justin,
Yeah,
do you see the chat?
yeah. I see. Charles said, "What's up, brother?"
All
But
right, that's
here's
my
the
bro.
problem.
What's up?
Here's the problem. There's there's like a huge delay between when you say something, I hear it, and then when I respond, and you hear it, and then when I hear uh, a background, it's like everybody's talking at the same time. I got no idea what's going on.
Well, mute the YouTube. You don't need to hear
Okay,
any.
yeah,
Everything's muted
you.
except for me.
I can hear you now. I guess it doesn't matter what's live on YouTube. So maybe I'll just maybe
Yeah,
I'll just ignore that. There
you
we
know
go.
what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna open up the YouTube
See,
channel also.
see, here's the thing. Here's
Uh,
the thing. Um, this is new to me, and
it's new to
I'm
us.
just gonna have to. I'm gonna have to grow with it.
Hmm.
Don't be doing this, man.
I'm not mean a minute. It said I can click on. You want me to read this? There are minors listening to this right now. You want me to read the text that you just said? You just sent out?
No, sir.
Well, it's not made for kids, right? You clicked that, Justin, didn't ask you if it's. Someone said I've been gay forever. Mike Hughes. Thank you. I okay, never mind. I'm gonna walk out of this. I can't see our live chat. I guess only you can.
Can't. All I can see is, well, I see Charles, but I haven't seen anything else. Let's see. Okay, there's live chat. Yeah, I got nothing in the live chat.
Yep. The voice on that everyone else is hearing is my friend Michael Hughes. Me and him were in the Navy together. He's he's just a poor human being. He has a corrupt soul and a corrupt mentality, but he's a good friend. I taught him how to catch catfish and shave his face. Right?
Yes, I won't talk until I'm told to, because I'm not supposed to be on this, so I'll abide by the rules.
No, we're live now. You can talk and say hi.
Oh, okay. My name is Mike Hughes. Probably shouldn't. I don't know. I know I give the.
No, I was in the Navy with Clayton. He's a stand-up guy.
Yeah, and he was a stand-up guy.
It's not coerced at all.
You're trying to do technical difficulties. That's all.
My buddy.
Is that what we're doing?
No, we're good. We're past the technical difficulties, I believe.
Oh, so we're just legit just hanging out?
We're live right now, and you're talking to dozens of people potentially in the future.
Okay. Are you sure it's dozens or one or two?
Well, it's probably one or two right now, but dozens will hear you later.
Eventually.
That's a lie.
Does it say how many people joined, or don't tell me the number, but does it say how many people have joined us?
It does, but you don't need to know.
Okay, good.
Sir, you don't want to see this body.
No, it's fine.
Who's your buddy? What's your
It's
buddy?
not going to do. It's not going to do you any good. You don't need to see it like this.
Mike
sounds like he's the guy that's in control. Who's your buddy? What's his name?
Justin.
Oh, Mike is he's very astute. I like that.
Yeah, he catches on quick. He just doesn't.
I do feel
anything.
like I'm the guy. Like I'm the one in control.
Yeah, his name's Justin. I call him J-Dub. He was my sergeant when I was at the sheriff's office. And yeah, we both left law enforcement around the same time.
Nice. All right.
We both used, he was interdiction before me. When I say interdiction, I mean trying to catch smugglers, dope smugglers on the highway.
Okay.
And he taught me the ropes.
No shit. Okay. And I'm not trying to take control or nothing, but so that would tell me. I feel like you guys are Oklahoma, but like I feel like that'd be like border stuff or something. I don't know, man.
Yeah, like, because the only drugs in the United States are at the border. There's no drugs anywhere else.
Are you being sarcastic? I don't know, man.
Yeah, man. So what happens is you're right.
Mean to me right now. Hey.
Yeah.
Whiskey Black on me right now.
Whiskey Black is long gone. People don't know about Whiskey Black.
Story about Whiskey Black.
Justin, do you want to hear a story about Whiskey Black?
I want to hear all, maybe not all the stories, but yeah, I want to hear some stories about Whiskey Black.
Excuse my language, but
you can say anything you want about Whiskey Black. I have no shame.
Yeah, I know I goddamn say but Whiskey Black, hey, be easy, bro.
All right, my bad.
I don't know. I'm trying to learn about y'all's life, and I feel like I'm taking over, so I apologize. I need to get back in the wings. So I'm happy to be here. I know Whiskey a little bit. We talked. It's been a while, to be honest with you, but I want your partner to be able to say something. I need to take a step back. I apologize.
No, you're good. We were in Kansas together, in Wichita. How the drug trade works, or a good majority of it, is it crosses the border in big loads, and it will be dispersed. It'll be dispersed from there into slightly smaller loads.
Wichita. All right.
Yeah, so it can be anywhere. But we're not hunting, or we weren't hunting like local drug dealers, at least not in this lane, not in interdiction. We weren't hunting local drug dealers. We were looking for the mules that were bringing them on the highway.
Okay.
Or through all modes of transportation, but just the highway usually.
And you're not doing that no more, neither one of you.
Uh-uh.
Okay. Word. All right.
Nope.
Well, how long did you guys work together?
6 years, 7 years.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So you and me didn't work together 6 years at all.
No, but we've
Not
known
even close.
4 years. 4 was pretty
Yeah.
close to 6.
No, I was in for 9 months. So you worked with this feller that I'd like to hear from longer than you worked with me.
Yeah.
So you know him better than me. That's good.
Yeah, but I've also known you longer just because of how the calendar works. I've known you for a longer period of time.
But, yeah, no, I'm putting it out there. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'm trying to figure that out. Explain that to me, Clayton. You've known me for a longer
No.
calendar period.
I've known Murph, Mike Hughes. We call him Murph
Huh?
because that's his alter ego. I think that's who you're listening to right now. It's Murph.
That's me.
I've known him
Okay.
for longer than I've known you because I met him in 2011, 2000.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And I met
And
J Dub in 2016, 17.
okay, so you're saying you met Mike in 2011, not Murph. So it's not you didn't meet the spirit Murph in a different person. You met Mike in 2011. That's what I'm understanding.
But if you hang out with Mike for any period of time, you're bound to meet Murph.
Before I left at Bahrain, we had a new guy show up at the unit that I was at, and it was he started talking about Riveron. He was like, "Hey, I'm at Riveron, by the way." He was saying before I came here, I was at Riveron. I was about to do the whole chest bumping thing, and
It's not worth
there's
it.
no good story to it, but
I want
I
to.
had a little bit of like, shut the fuck up, dude. But I had to. I was the guy. I had to show him the ropes, but he was like, "Yeah, I was River on too." I was like, "All right, well, where were you at?" He's like, San Diego." And I was like, "No, you weren't at River on, dude." So I don't know. We kept. This was civilian, so I was actually on what we call the little hootie thing where we take the boat. So I just kept driving the boat in Bahrain. But I was like,
As a civilian?
Yeah. That's why I just got back from Bahrain. I've been here for 1 week, by the way.
We need to talk more about that.
Yeah, I've been stateside 1 week.
What? Yeah. I mean, we all know that I was a better boat driver than you, so
That's a lie. That's a gosh darn lie.
they should if they have any sense at all, I'll send them my resume and you'll get the boot and I'll take your spot.
I'm sure whoever all your siblings or the 5 or 6 people that are listening would love to hear about who's a better driver, but you are not. The other person, that dumb person, what's his name? Dumb dude. There was only one other person that drove beside us three.
Sapizio.
I think Sapizio was his name. Sapizio.
Sapizio or Sapizino.
Yeah, big dumb motherfucker. Yeah.
No, you're good. We say potty words on here.
Yeah, that big stupid driver. I was the best driver, by the way.
You weren't the best driver, and he wasn't a bet. So you just said two wrong things. He was a good driver, and you were not the best driver.
Okay, so we can do that here, but here doesn't want to listen to us sit here and talk about who's a better driver or not. The difference is I'm still driving boats now.
That's true. So now you're probably a better driver just because you've had many, many years.
The government's still paying me to drive boats.
Yeah.
I do.
That's what I tell my wife every time she complains about my driving. I'm like, hey, babe, who is the professional driver? She's like, oh, you're not a... No, I say me. I'm the only one that was paid by the government to drive boats. I'm talking about when I'm in a vehicle with my wife and she's complaining about my drive.
want to hear more from your buddy.
Say J Dub, and he can hear you.
J Dub.
What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah. Do you like this Clayton? Have you ever heard of Whiskey Black?
Man, hang on just a second because I'm afraid that I might be messing us up because
You know somebody named
op-
Whiskey Black?
I might have opened up too many windows.
He's heard of Whiskey
Let's
Black.
see. Yeah, can you hear me okay now, by the way?
Black.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, Mike, can you hear me?
I can hear you 100%.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so I've heard of Whiskey Black, but I want to hear more. What you got?
This is a podcast?
Yeah.
This is a podcast.
Allegedly.
That's what we call it. It's just a.
Yeah.
And that's what we call it. That's not what anybody else calls it, by the way.
Okay. Well, I enjoy it, by the way. So we have 2 prior police officers on a podcast. Is that what I'm into right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Outstanding. I like it.
Yeah.
Prior police officers and current, just generally cool human beings.
Yeah.
I
Badasses.
agree.
Generally.
Yeah.
Literally.
All right.
All right, Murph. I love you, buddy. Thank you for calling in. I haven't talked to Murph in probably 2 years, and tonight's the first time I've talked to him in that amount of time. I'm gonna talk to you more, all right?
All right. Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Bye. Yeah, son. Okay. Go quick. Go get it out of your system. Stand up. Stand up and talk to him. There you go. Right here.
Hi, Justin.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, what are you up to?
Um,
Going to bed?
going to bed.
Yeah, nice. It sounds like a good thing to be doing.
Yeah.
All right, sleep good.
Okay.
Hugs. Love you. Make sure you go pee before you go to bed, okay? Love you. We're back live.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you're experiencing the same thing. Is your video, is it way off from the audio? Is it way delayed?
No, it's because you're streaming. Or it's because you're
Okay.
not plugged in. You're using the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
It's all
Um,
good. I think it's gonna come out just fine.
well, so as long as I just don't look at the video, um, I think we'll be okay. But if you say anything that requires facial expressions, just know that I'm going to be slow to the party.
That's fine.
You know
I'm
what I mean?
gonna try to log out of the Lawless page on my end and log into my personal YouTube to see if I can.
Yeah, dude, bump those viewers up,
Huh? Yeah.
bump those numbers. So I've never done obviously a live uh, thing before, but whenever I've done like whenever we do email campaigns
Uh-huh.
or did you ever do email campaigns in real estate?
Yeah. That's the
You
main
said
thing I
yeah.
did. Yeah.
Okay. So did you ever did it like break your heart when people would unsubscribe from your email campaign or
Yeah.
from your did it?
Yeah.
Dude, that hurts my feelings so bad. Especially like even when it's a stranger. I'm like, really, Susan? Really? You couldn't just you couldn't just delete that email?
You're spamming their
Re-
inbox.
I'm not spamming their inbox. I'm giving them valuable information. But yeah, dude, whenever I see unsubscribed, it hurts a little bit. I'm like, really? Okay. All right. Sorry I wasn't good enough for you.
Yeah. You're good. You're good enough, bud.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, well, what do you want to do, man? What do you want to do for this live?
Well, you want to talk about Mark Zuckerberg or the engineered slash arson fire that's taken place in California, or Greenland
Uh,
saying they want to remain an independent country, or the Gulf of
well,
America? We got all
I
kinds
mean,
of stuff.
let's talk about that. That's interesting. I am I presume that it's all either A, it's
Oh, that Charles was Chuck Sirens. What up,
can
Chuck?
you see the chat box?
I can.
Okay. So anyway, either
And Chuck said Metallica's not metal. Oh man, he must be drinking that Michigan water.
sounds like a smart dude.
I'm sorry. What else were you saying?
I got to I got to get my train of thought back on track. What were we talking about?
Topics. Fuck, this is embarrassing. Topics to talk about the Zuckerberg, Greenland,
Yeah.
um, California burning.
So
California
do you
is being set on fire.
okay, so I want to hear your perspective on that. But all of the stuff with like Canada and Greenland and the Gulf of America, all of that stuff. Do you think that do you think that there's a serious attempt or serious thought for those things to happen, or is that just the media saying like maybe he made a bad joke or he said something dumb or whatever? I don't know. Like,
We're not
do you
gonna
think that there's
seriously
really
take over Greenland.
so? Well, I don't even know if that's what the proposition was. What I had seen was that he wanted to explore buying it, but that's what I'm saying. Like, are those wild claims actually true? Do you think? A is what they're is there what they're reporting true, and B, like, what? Give me your thoughts on that.
Well, I think Trump likes to say, and he got elected on this. He likes to say a bunch of wild shit that's gonna get people to talk
Yeah, yeah,
about him.
yeah. Okay, and
And
so that's the question. Did he say it, and does he mean it?
well, since I'm not in control of, or I'm not in control of anything, I can get to Googling what did Trump say about Greenland?
Seriously, like the idea though of just like of just like being it's like we were playing Monopoly the other day,
Uh-huh.
and you know, you fall on hard times in those light blue properties. Hey, you might you might sell them for a little bit, you know?
What about the
Sell them before
Browns? Do you ever buy the Brown properties? Those are the
I
ones lower than the
generally
low blue.
yeah, I'll generally buy just about everything.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Now, what about making your own rules? I make my own
Uh,
rules. We have family rules.
listen, I gotta say, someone that I love very much, someone very close to me that has been around for a while, uh, just recently discovered that the goal of Monopoly was to end with the most money. And I discovered this the other day, and I just thought to myself, like, what else? And I'm I'm not making fun of this person. That's why I'm not using their name. But like I'm just wondering to myself, what else would you be doing? Like if you're not trying to end with the most money, then what was the purpose of the game? It would be very boring.
Well, it depends on, it actually depends on what specific Monopoly game you're playing because we have like three or four different versions here. And in classic Monopoly, you went to bankrupt. That's how you win is you bankrupt everyone.
Hold on, you're saying three or four different not There's only one Monopoly game. You're saying
Mm.
that you can have three or four different like uh get ways to play it.
No, I'm saying that like there's Star Wars Monopoly
No,
or
that's
there.
wrong. Stop. That's offensive.
Well, we got
We
my
need to we need to yeah, we need to address that right now. That's not Monopoly, but go ahead.
no. There are other versions of that game, and in some of those, like Tower Monopoly is like a speed Monopoly. It's for the ones that don't have enough discipline to play real Monopoly. And in that one, how you get it is you fill up. You have each person has like a little slide tower, and when you buy properties, you instead of getting the card, they give you a little puzzle piece that you slide in your tower, and the first person to fill up their tower wins. And the tower
Okay.
also dictates the amount of rent that people pay you. So if it's no
And do you
matter
like
what,
have to bow down and worship the tower? Like
yes, yeah. I mean,
and
it's
they'll
social engineering. Jesus Christ, live, everybody, look at that bald head.
and
Jamie says, "I thought the goal was to make your kids cry." That's not the goal, but if that is, I win every single time. There's someone's crying, someone's leaving early, someone's giving up, and there might be a life lesson that I use to cover up my anger management because I'll get mad and yell, and then I'll be like, "Let me explain
oh,
what I was trying to say."
hey, don't remind me because I don't want to talk about it right now, but remind me to talk about anger management because I had an interesting thought the other day,
Oh, okay,
but I don't want to talk about it right now.
that's cool. I've been losing a lot, losing my anger, or I don't know, losing my temper a lot lately, and in embarrassing ways, like ways that have nothing to do with what I'm like.
like
I'm so
like
angry.
it,
Someone didn't tighten the lid on the mayonnaise all the way. And just go Donkey Kong. And my family's like, chill the fuck out, homie.
yeah,
That's been happening a little bit often.
yeah, I've been there. Uh, in fact, there a couple of them come to mind immediately. The one one of them was I think it was a couple summers ago. I was building I was building some garden boxes, like some raised beds for the garden.
Hmm.
And I mean, I rarely know what I'm doing with pretty much anything, but like, especially with like building stuff, I just kind of just try to, I'm kind of practical. Anyway, I was trying to build this box and it wasn't working. And so like I tried and it didn't work. So the logical conclusion is I just like picked it up and started thrashing it against the ground. Like, I mean, I just started throwing it, losing my absolute, like just losing my mind on it. And my wife walked around the corner and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like, "What do you mean? What am I doing? It didn't work." Like, this was the next logical conclusion, right?
Isn't
Like,
that how you solve your problems?
you're telling me you wouldn't be doing this. Um, but then the other time I did this was like a month ago, which is kind of embarrassing. But I'd taken my daughter up to Omaha to see Billie Eilish, which was a
Yeah.
freaking awesome concert. Shout out. Um, but the parking up there, I thought sucks really bad. Like I was mad about it. It was so bad.
Like it was a
So I'm
personal
driving
attack.
around. Yeah, dude. Like, it not only was it inconvenient, I was mad. Like I felt like somebody did this on purpose. Um, but so I couldn't find anything, and I drove around. Well, and there's traffic everywhere. There's traffic and people everywhere.
Hmm.
So kind of picture like Interest Bank Arena, kind of the same thing where all this foot traffic and nowhere for vehicles. So finally, I'm stuck in traffic, and then it turns green, and I just like whip out, and I'm like spinning my tires like I'm some sort of I don't know, dude. It was embarrassing. Um, and I
Did you ever see
turned the
the old
corner, whatever.
movie Taxi Cab, Robert De Niro Taxi Cab?
Uh, I've seen parts of it, but I couldn't tell you what it's about.
Well, you just reminded me of this one scene where Robert De Niro is, I think it's Taxi Cab. I might be confusing some movies, but he is trying to convince this love interest that he's the one for her, and she keeps rejecting him, and finally he loses his temper and is like, ah, and boom, 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 breaks the windows and punches holes in the walls.
Yeah.
And think about the psychology. I think this is late 70s, early 80s. This movie came out. He loses his shit, punches the walls, punches, just like how my default mode goes. And then she falls in love with him. She's like, "Oh, you're that serious?" Well, and there's
That's a man that can provide right there.
well, really, what you know is it's a man that wrote the script of that movie. It's a man that wrote that movie, because every other woman or if a woman wrote it, she'd be like, "Get the fuck away from him."
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Oh, yeah, some women would
That's
dig
that
it.
that that's that non-toxic masculinity,
That's non-toxic.
non-toxic.
Okay.
Um,
Uh,
Go ahead.
I was just thinking back that I'm not gonna be I mean, I was just thinking back to Trump. Like we're not gonna you're not gonna hear us defend all of Donald Trump's actions like 100%. He obviously wanted to uh just cause some shit to get attention. I think that's what he constantly does. Now, I hope that he comes in. I hope every president does the best job for the country. I hope he comes in and straightens some things out. But one of the things that I'm afraid of in his presidency is him just constantly throwing temper tantrums and media shits.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that he could do it tactically? Like making all this spectacle over here and all this kind of stuff. Everybody's watching this. While then on the with the left hand, things are getting different things are getting done, or maybe strategic things are getting done, or is that given too much credit? You think?
It might be given too much credit, but I like to think that that's what all presidents do. I would like to think that they're like handling the media, whatever that means, and handling all of their different hats, handling the homeland, handling their duties as commander in chief, handling their duties as lead ambassador, handling all of these hats that the presidents are supposed to wear. I'd like to think that that's part of it. And his way of handling the media is to get them to constantly talk about him. He's an egomaniac, right? He wants everyone to be
Yeah.
constantly talking about him.
So, do you think that he does that because he's an egomaniac, like it's self-serving, or is that strategic for for the country? And regard, like, I'm not trying to put you in a, I'm not trying to pigeonhole into a MAGA guy or whatever. I'm just saying, is it possible that that's what's happening, or is it most likely that he's just an egomaniac?
Well, I don't know. I think that is how he got where he is. That's how he became the president twice. That's how he's become
Wait a second. How?
his monkey mind, his temper tantrum has allowed him to be a successful businessman and has allowed him to do these accomplishments because his style is what you see. Like I think
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know about too much behind the scenes stuff. I think what you see is what you get with Trump. Like it or hate it.
So, do you mean kind of like, and obviously, he was set up with opportunities that other people weren't, but do you mean like he got where he got because he was just boisterous and like elbowed his way and just
Yeah.
was all about himself and was egomaniac, and because of that, like, just like, we saw it some in law enforcement, that if people talk tough, then some people will think that they're tough. And so if you talk like like a super successful businessman, or that you're, if you talk like you're somebody like Donald Trump, some people are going to believe you just because I'm not sure why
Well,
people
especially
believe
if you
that,
have
but
a history of backing it up.
yeah. So is that what you mean? Like, is that what you mean when you say that that's part of why he was successful?
Well, Donald Trump wants to be the most successful person in history. And Andy has a pretty okay record of being the most successful person. You know, whatever your views are, he has a record of success. So whether that's at the head of his real estate business, whether if that's at the head of his gambling, his casino business, or if that's the head of the United States, everybody prospers. All those things improved when he was there, when he was at the head of those ships, because of his egomaniacal slash successful personality. I'm
Okay.
not saying he's
So
right on everything, but I'm just saying a rising tide raises all ships. And when he's in control of that tide, all ships are going to rise. Some of these ships don't like to move the way that the tide is moving it, but he's going to bring the tide up with him. At least that's how he portrays himself.
and I don't know that there's any way that you can really judge this, or there's no way that you can really judge it, I think, accurately. But I think the question that I have is, okay, so supposing that's true, and I think it probably is he doing that for his own sake, or is that just the thing that he brings that he's able to use for the sake of the economy? You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
like,
I think the answer is yes. Like he is doing it for his own sake, but how that looks is he's doing it at the steering wheel of the ship.
yeah,
Um,
it's interesting. I mean, honestly, I guess I don't necessarily care what somebody's motives are to some degree. I mean, to
well,
some degree, I
Chuck Sheeran said, "We bought a Monopoly card game." I've seen that, and I feel like that's too demonic, and that's just of the devil too much with the credit cards. I'm sorry, my brother Chuck Sheeran's that game is not going to be allowed in this house. The credit card Monopoly, but
you
Harry
can throw
Potter
that out with
Monopoly.
Dungeons and Dragons.
What'd you say?
Said you can throw that out with your Dungeons and Dragons. Don't you dare bring that wizardry into my house.
Yeah, that's just as bad as tarot.
You want to play Ouija board? Okay. No.
Oh, no is the answer to Ouija boards.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
You ain't bringing them devils into my house.
Nope. Nope. They're not welcome.
I rebuke them actually in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
How long does a Monopoly game last when you play it?
Uh, like it as if we were like to finish it out, or like somebody throws the table.
No, oh, well, if you were to finish it out, how long would it take? Because we've had it last days, weeks.
um. Well, so normally, so first off, like if we're gonna play it like with my family,
Mhm.
um, two people will one will leave very quickly, one will lose very quickly, and it's gonna be my daughter and I left, and then of the two of us, normally we'll just like quit. But at some point, it always devolves into like all of these deals, like these backdoor under the table deals
That's
where
how I win.
you don't you don't have to pay for, and yeah, I agree. That's generally how I win, is just by making smart financial decisions.
Yeah,
uh, I wish I could
making
do that in
deals,
life,
baby.
in real life.
I like to pressure my family members into giving me their properties at discount rates whenever they're low on
Absolutely.
cash.
Absolutely. uh and not only that, but you're their father. Like
Yeah,
that's your,
honor your father.
yeah.
Honor your father and mother. I'll start it off with Caleb. I'll say, "Hey, I notice you're low on hundreds over there. How about you slide me that boardwalk and I'll give you 2 hundo. And that's a deal he
200
can't
for
refuse.
Boardwalk.
Yeah.
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 Wait a second. Now that's hold on. That's a different story. I think it's totally good and helpful to like wheel and deal with your kids.
Uh-huh.
But you're talking about ripping your kids off.
No, I'm
Two
talking
hundred
about
dollars for
giving them
Boardwalk?
money whenever they need it.
Man, you that's like you're a slumlord. You're a who's that guy that who's that guy that bought like the whatever he bought the lab that made the insulin, whatever, and he like raised the price by like 2,000%.
No, it was AIDS
Uh,
medication. It was like 7,000% he raised it.
whatever it was, that's basically what you're like, and I'm not impressed. I'm not happy with that.
Oh, you're judging my character based on my
Yeah,
monopoly? Okay, well, maybe that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah, yeah, and that's how I like to do things. What I like to do is take sometimes a sliver of information,
Little
and
snapshots.
sometimes I like to even make up my own sliver. But I'll take that, and then um, that's just kind of how I make some decisions, and sometimes it works out. Um, Terrible news from the chat update. She's 630 says Block Blast updated and it's terrible, or
I
it
don't know
looks
what that
terrible.
means. I've been trying to decode it in my mind. Is it,
Oh, dude, Block Blast is freaking. I love it. It's a game.
I
It's
don't,
super addictive.
what is Block Blast? Is it TikTok?
No, it's just a game.
Right. So what is Block Blast? I mean, I get that it's the game part. Is it a game on your phone?
Yes. Yeah, it's um hang on just a second.
Sean Cooney, we got 4 to 6 inches of snow today. It started around, which by the way, 4 to 6 inches of snow shut Atlanta down. There is when the last time I checked it, there's 100,000 people in the North Georgia area that are without power right now, and it's 31 degrees in my neck of the woods, and I think it's in the 20s out on the west side of
Dude, does
Georgia.
it ever get that cold out there?
Not since I've been here. They actually told me it would never get this cold.
Yeah.
Now, who's doing this? The Chinese or the aliens? Which ones?
Uh
Or the
Russia?
government?
Is that an option?
Who?
Russia?
I mean, yeah, but I don't think they're the type to do it. They're too busy losing to Ukraine and chumming
Maybe
it
it's
up with Kim Jong-un.
maybe it's the drones.
Snow
We
started.
gotta
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we got a second round of snow last night. We had, I want to say, 3 or 4 inches a couple days ago, then nothing, and then last night got another couple inches.
So, how many inches are you up to down there in Wichita?
Several. I haven't done the math, and I lost track.
No, that's the number I use whenever people ask me about inches. I say several, no matter no matter what the
Enough,
question is.
enough.
About, yeah, enough to get the trick done. Enough to shut down Atlanta, son. Yeah, they do have weather machine atmospheric pressure chart. Yeah, hell yeah, they do, Sean Cooney. You know what's up. I've been out here talking about this for months now.
Clayton's been preaching that gospel for a minute.
Yeah, have you ever heard of a little something called Operation Popeye?
I have from my good friend Clayton Blackwood.
Yeah, and from CIA.gov. They can
Oh no, I never would have heard it if it wasn't. I never would have heard of it if it wasn't for you.
uh yeah, that's true. But
Which
it's
I was I was listening to the podcast that you posted today, actually, and it was one where we were talking about how you just kind of have a pretty deep knowledge about pretty much everything.
I appreciate you saying that, but I don't want people's expectations to be high.
I mean, let's try it. Okay, can the government control the weather?
Yeah, of course they can.
Yeah, why do you say that?
Because they've done it before, and there's lots of different ways. Sean Cooney said, "I am Operation Popeye." The ways that they do it is by controlling the atmospheric pressure. So there's an
Okay.
equilibrium. Go ahead.
Okay, that's enough for this exercise. Give me the major tenets of Buddhism,
Oh, the Four Noble Truths or the Eightfold Path. Um,
whichever you want.
well, the problem with the I can't remember the Four Noble Truths in order, but it's the problem of this life is attachment or pain. The problem of life is pain. That's called samsara. You're stuck in the wheel. The only way to be free of samsara is for to learn mindfulness, and the only way to learn mindfulness is follow the Eightfold Path.
Okay. What are the major like oppositional groups in Africa?
The major what?
Like, what are the major groups that are like within opposition or that like would be at war with each other? You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Like, what are the
yeah,
good?
for hundreds of years, but specifically, I think articulated in the last like couple of decades since the 60s and 70s is the Hutu and the Tutsis. The Hutu and the Tutsi tribes. They're really the same tribe going back long enough, but they're now it's an Islamic faction versus a Christian faction, and the Christian factions are the ones that commit the most heinous war crimes, the Hutu and the Tutsis. And they're
And I
mostly
rest my
around
case.
Congo.
I rest my case. You pretty much know quite a bit actually about everything.
Oh,
So so I don't think anybody, at least anybody that I bring, I don't think is going to be too disappointed.
well, what you're observing is the superpowers of ADHD magnified. I have ADHD times 10. And so what that looks like is I'll be working, whatever that means, and I'll find a board spot. And so I'll listen to a lecture on Socrates, or I'll listen to a lecture on the Germanic tribes, or I'll listen
Yeah.
to a podcast about weather change, or I'll listen to something about ancient samurais. I'm so bored, and I have an such an erratic attention span that it seems simultaneously, but that's not how the brain works. You can't really multitask. What I do is I jump back and forth between different subjects very fast.
So so yeah, like that's awesome, but I can't even get through. I do the same thing, but I can't retain anything because it's like uh I mean, perfect example, I'll have a 12-hour book and I'll get through 6 hours of it because I just get bored of the topic and so I want to do it. Other like how do you stick with it long enough to actually learn about the Hutsis and the Tutsis and the all the different situations?
What you do is you look for the parts that you're interested in and then hyper focus on that. But is if you don't find any part you're interested in, like it's not bad to put a book down. If it's not grabbing your attention, that's the author's fault. That's not your fault. If you're listening to an audiobook and it
Hey, I lost your audio, Clayton. Clayton, I don't know if you can. Not sure if you can hear me. Mm, and I'm not sure if I'm frozen or Oh, so for anyone following along, Clayton's power went out.
You hear me?
Yeah, we gotcha.
There's been a rash of power outages in Atlanta. This is, I think, the fifth time our power went out. Yeah, here she comes. There's been a rash of power outages in Atlanta. This is the fifth time our power has gone out, and my internet is resetting. In the meantime, after the power went out and came back on, Allie asked me if she can come in.
Yeah, I don't have audio again. No, no audio from you, buddy.
I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Did you hear anything I said?
Nope.
Oh, what we've been having a rash of power outages here in Atlanta because of the snowmageddon,
Yeah.
and I just had another one, and my modem's resetting, so I'm going to do this on 5G. But anyway, when the power was coming back on, Allie knocked on my door and asked if I could reset her clock. I said no. I'm in the middle of a podcast.
No, you did not say that.
I did, and you didn't hear me.
Just
And then,
Stop lying.
calling you out.
what did I say?
You ignored me.
I didn't ignore you. I said no. And then you pushed the door open.
No, I didn't.
Oh, sorry. That's my fault. All right, wait 1 second. Keep it going. I'm going to switch back to my computer.
Admit.
I'm in. Here we are. If it happens again, I'll go back to my phone. Hey, babe, you already said hi, but go ahead and say hi again and then get out of my office, okay? No? I say potty words that you can't hear.
Yeah, but I hear them all the time.
No, you don't. I don't say them all the time.
Yeah, you did. Stop lying.
I
Well,
say
yes, let's talk about that.
I
Clayton.
say almost potty words. Things like gosh darn it and shucks and shoot.
Okay.
Allie, I'll talk to him about it.
Are we still live on YouTube?
I think so.
Okay. My Google or my thing has been listening to me.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh no.
no.
Here we are. We're live. Okay, honey. For real, give me a kiss. You
Are
gotta
we
go.
still live?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, sweet.
Okay. Night night. Not good night. Great night. I'm gonna block my door again. Please don't push it open. We weren't talking about Hootsues and Tootsies anymore. It says chat disconnected. Please wait while we try again. Let me see. Are we live? Question mark.
I'm seeing you.
On the YouTubes.
Yes.
Okay, we're good then.
Yep. Looks like you're just now sitting down.
Sweet.
So yeah, anyway, I was just saying that that you know pretty much everything,
Oh no.
or like at least quite a bit about a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit about some things. Ashley texted me, she's listening. Gosh dang it. And said, I have a photographic memory. And that's not true, but I do have a different kind of memory. I think I hold on to things that people don't. I think it's because my brain's broke. I think I came out with some wires crossed, but I do hold on to memories. Like, do you have any memories from before you could walk?
Oh, uh, no, not before I could walk, but I do have like very, very vivid memories of specific things from a very long time ago, but nothing like pre-walking.
I have a couple pre-walking memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
My earliest memory is going to visit my dad in prison, and my brother was holding me. And my brother's 13 years older than me, my brother Charles, who's on the chat. Um,
Oh, that's your brother?
Not Charles Sierens, Charles Pierce.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
my brother.
What's
My
up, bro?
first, yeah, my first memory was my old earliest memory is going to visit my dad in prison. My dad was in prison when I was born, and I don't know how old I was, but I just remember being in a big gray room and my brother carrying me. And he used to have this Budweiser. Do you remember a Budweiser bandana? And it had that dog that's not a pit bull, but it looks kind of like a pit bull. It has that really pointed snout. It's some kind of terrier. It was the
Yes.
Budweiser dog for a long time,
Yeah, yeah,
like in
yeah.
the 80s.
Yeah.
My brother was wearing that bandana, and I remember being in a big gray room and with my mom in there, and yeah, going to visit my dad in prison.
What was that dog?
Spud, Spud McKenzie.
That's right. Spuds McKenzie.
Um, I remember I remember rolling a ball with my cousin Shannon. My cousin Shannon was, I think, 9 years older than me. She passed away a couple years ago. But I remember rolling a ball in the hallway with my cousin Shannon, and I peed myself. And my mom came out, and my Aunt Ivina said, "Oh no, he pissed his pants." And I remember feeling shame. That was one of my early memories of
Yeah.
shame and embarrassment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember crawling, and on a Christmas, I got some toy trucks, and this was when my grandma was alive. This was, I had to been like two or less than, no, I had to be one or like before two, I was crawling. And anyway, I drove a car into my Aunt Ivina's leg, and she slapped the shit out of me on my leg. And I think that was my first memory of pain.
How,
Like, holy
how
shit.
old? Like, was she an old? How old was she? You said.
My Aunt Ivina, oh, I don't know. I mean, quite a bit
Like,
older than me.
like, would
She's
she have been senior citizen, or would she have been like our age?
She would have been probably around like in her mid 30s at that time. My mom
Oh
had me when
wow.
she was 41, and she's I think like 6 years older than my Aunt Ivina, or five.
I mean, there comes a point, like there comes a certain age where you're almost like, what are you gonna do about it? You know, like, what are you gonna do? Uh, but yeah, there's up until that point, um, can't really do that anymore.
What, slap the shit out of kids?
The kids that aren't yours,
Well, here's the thing. Yeah,
or just in general. Yeah,
dude, it used
just
to
in
be
general.
public.
We've talked about that.
Yeah, it used to be acceptable to just beat the shit out of not just your kid, but any kid. Like everyone would stand around, yeah, get them, get them.
Yeah, without a trial.
And that's
What did
another thing.
that
I
kid do?
remember
He was
that
being
memory.
bad. All right.
I remember that memory of my Aunt Ivina. And by the way, she's a sweet lady. That's just what, that was parenting back then. It was a group effort. Especially because my dad was in prison and my mom was probably washing dishes, so someone had to take care of this wild kid. Um, but yeah, it used to be so acceptable to beat the shit out of everyone's kids. Oh, and I remember thinking, like, is someone going to save me? Is someone going to help me? Like wanting my mom to help me or wanting my grandma to help me, and looking around like, oh no, no one's coming. I'm just sorry. But yeah, memory is a part
Oh,
of it.
pretty dark.
Yeah.
So I've got a theory. I've got a theory that I don't think it's based in science. I think that think that there may even be some evidence against it, but I don't really mess around too much with that. When I get that special feeling,
Yeah.
I generally hang on to that. But have you ever seen a uh, have you ever seen a hypnotism, like a legitimate hypnotism?
Yeah. The first one I saw was this comedian who's a Native American called Jay Medicine Hat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
John Boy Billy.
so I'm not going to go through the whole story because I know I've talked to you about it several times, but I think that, so for anybody that doesn't know the story, I went to a training that it was interview and interrogation, and there is a technique of interviewing victims by way of um, hypnotism, because the concept is that the mind will suppress very traumatic, painful memories, whatever. And so through hypnotism, you can go through and recover those memories. So I, I just my my thought is that I don't know that we ever lose a memory. I
Uh-uh.
think that our mind just knows, like, there's only so much RAM, there's only so much energy, there's only so much functional memory that it can have. But I think that maybe sometimes you can just access, like, a specific memory doesn't go anywhere. It just isn't always accessible because it's not necessary. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What do you think about the idea that memories are actually outside of your body? Like memories, like it's more like a cloud instead of a hard drive. That was a thing that
So
Jung was on to.
so would that be in line with recall instead of uh what would the
That would be in
alternative be?
line with like the social conscious or the group consciousness. Socrates talked about it a little bit too, even though he didn't use those words. He talked about how you don't really learn anything, you remember things. So like
Oh,
if I were to lead you down a
okay.
train of thought, I can tell you 1 + 1 = 2. But if I have one, like you know how to count to 10, if I have one and I add another one to it, two. Like enabling, that's the idea of enabling, teaching someone how to think, which is wisdom, versus what to think, which is the sophist of the class. So, like
Right.
Socrates said, philosophy is different than sophistication. And how I'm interpreting that is what to think would be knowledge, and how to think would be wisdom. So, tapping into that memory is more unlocking, or tapping into that knowledge of what you already know is more of wisdom versus if I just tell you the capitals of all the states, that's knowledge. Man, I know that's boring as shit for everyone. Sorry. Sorry, John Boy Billy. I say potty words.
No, I mean, I think that makes sense what you're saying.
My brother, well, wait a second. Kenny said 4 to 6 inches has done in Clayton's body. Uh, yeah, that's what got me kicked off was the 4 to 6 inches. Um, my brother asked me to talk about my hair, which is non-existent anymore. But when I was born with chicken hair, like it just stuck up. It could not lay down, like no matter
I
how much.
thought you were about to say you were born with some kind of condition so that I would have to feel sorry for you and stop making fun of you.
Kind of, I was
Because
born
honestly,
redheaded, and that's a condition that you should make fun of me for.
that
Luckily, it all fell
that
out and
wait a
grew
second,
back.
you said that I should or should not make fun of you for?
You should make fun of redheads
Oh,
endlessly
yeah,
because
for
they
sure.
deserve it.
Okay. Yes. All right.
But I did something right, and all my hair fell out. And when it came back, it was gold, the color of heaven, because God loves me.
Right.
And that's
Right.
why He gave me these baby blue eyes. And just to keep me humble, He started to make it fall out.
Yeah. I had a thought that I was gonna something I thought of the other day, but I wanted to run by you, but I'm not going to do it here on the live.
Oh,
So
okay.
sorry. That's why I zoned out there for a second.
I just started Brother Cameroos. What's that? Do you know Brother Cameroos?
I do not.
Caramoos? Hmm. That's out of my wheelhouse, John Boy Billy. I'm sorry. But yeah, what do you think about the idea of your memory and even your consciousness being outside of you?
Well, that kind of goes in line with what I was thinking about with
Caramos.
anger management that I want you to remind me about. Uh, I'm I'm not sure I'm not sure I'm tracking with it being outside of you. How could that be?
Oh, Fyodor Dostoevsky. Yeah, I think that might have been where I got it. But I did Karamazov. Um, I read Dostoevsky, but what did I read? Crime and Punishment. Yeah, I don't know brothers, but I know uh Dostoevsky. About the consciousness being out of you, I'm at like it's kind of like how I think about my soul or about everyone's soul. Th- Imagine a video game, like maybe that's not a best example, but like a giant cloud at the center of the universe, which is God or whatever you want to call it. And there's millions of little threads going from God to people. But God's not
You
a
say
great
that
word.
it's like a could you say that it's like a hub with just a bunch of like strings or fibers going out from it?
Yeah.
Like the center of it would be solid because it would be the like the sum of all of those fibers. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like the source. So that
Okay.
source that we're all connected to, the more the more you remember that connection, the more that connection becomes solid, the more access you have. Man, that sounds weird. But I know I'm not the one that invented this thought. I know I'm not the one that came up with this. This group I mean, I'm describing a weird hippie slash uneducated man's version of collective conscious.
And
Collective
I'm here
conscious.
for it.
Sweet. So
So the reason that I say it kind of is in line with what I was thinking about the other day is so if I'm let's say that I'm scrolling through
is John Boy
social
Billy
media.
Michael Hughes?
Say what?
I was trying to think of John Boy Billy as Michael Hughes.
Uh, Um, okay, so let's say that I'm scrolling through social media and everything that I come across, I'm just like, this is dumb, that's dumb, they're full of it BS. Like just negative, 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 right? That negative, or then let's say I come to you and I see your page and let's say that I've got a problem with it. That problem is literally my problem, right?
If wait, say that again. I'm sorry. You didn't have my full attention.
Okay. So if I'm scrolling through social media or just going about my day, whatever, and everything I see is negative, I'm saying,
Yeah,
that's bullshit or that's he's lying or this whatever.
all of that.
Like you would say that that's my problem, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, because that is literally that anger or that issue that doesn't exist anywhere in the universe except for within me, right?
Only through your eyes is that does that problem
So
exist?
right, so no matter what, this is what I'm just kind of trying to process, and what I was thinking about last night, that no matter what my problem with somebody is, it literally is my own problem. Nobody else can feel that. Nobody else can
Only,
experience that. That
only if
I'm the only one that can.
yeah, only if they make it their problem, and even then, it's not going to be the same way that it's not going to be experienced the same way that you're experiencing it. Like if my
Correct.
wife was sick all week, and man, I wanted to help her. It was killing me. Like if I could take that sickness out of her body and put it in me, I would. No matter how much pain and how inconvenienced or how, upset I was at her being sick, I still didn't, I wasn't experiencing what she was experiencing. Like we were both feeling the negative effects and the whole house ended up getting it, except for me, because God loves me. But no matter what, I was inconvenienced and I had the problem of the sickness in the house, just like everyone had it. But I did not have the same problem that Cash had. I did not have the same problem that Allie had. I did not have the same problem that Ashley had. Even though it was all the sickness, Ashley was bedridden, and she's the mother of everyone, and she's normally the one that keeps this ship going. Cash is just a little guy, helpless, and doesn't know why he can't go play with his friends, and doesn't know why he's coughing, and doesn't know why he's tired. Allie, everyone's life is no one can fully empathize. Like not 100%. It's an idea. Like I have the idea of putting myself into your shoes. Like I have the idea of growing up with Russ and with T-Pack and with your sister, just based off the stories that you've told me. But even still, it's just like a foggy reflection in a mirror based off of what it actually was. The best version of it can be a foggy reflection in a mirror. Yeah, that's how everything is. But I think all that stuff, these problems, and specifically anything that separates you from that source, and that source of like community, the universe, right? The more
Okay.
individualistic you get and the more combative you are, the the more separated, the more blocks you put in between you and that higher self, you and that source.
What, okay, so which you would say is the center, the hub.
Yeah. Yeah. The more individualistic and especially the more combative, which has to mean the more separated you are. Like, because
Mhm.
by combative I mean everyone's the enemy and everything's a fucking enemy. And when you get down to that, you keep you keep making life a hell for yourself.
Yeah.
And
Now, now
yeah,
when I was still pretty mainstream, and I was thinking of salvation being a process instead of a moment. Um, the concept being that there are stages where you would turn toward God, and in this case, God being the center or the hub, and there are times when you turn away from God, and salvation wasn't based on like saying a prayer or whatever, but salvation would have been a process of turning and becoming, more like or turning toward the center.
that
You
was
know
your
what I mean?
mainstream view.
That was when I was more mainstream. Yeah, that was so that would have been my last view up until recently when um I went all the way,
Yeah, when you abandoned your faith.
everything.
That's not true. You didn't abandon your faith. You got a deeper relationship with God. What happened? You
True.
outgrew your old shell like a cicada.
Like a crab.
Yeah. Have you
Do
ever
crabs
seen
outgrow
a
their
crab
shells?
molt?
They do, don't they?
Yeah. Have you ever watched it? I think I sent you a video of it months ago.
Yeah, I think you did. I think it was gross.
It's the
I feel
gnarliest thing.
I feel
They're
like it was.
aliens, dude. Their whole body is like liquid slime, but it's in the form of a crab, but it's just imagine a crab just without a hard shell. That's what crabs look like. And when they molt, they it's this real slow process of peeling themselves out of that shell, and they're just this disgusting slime ball. Did you ever catch crabs?
But
Not in your bathing suit area, but like out of the water.
Yeah, we this past maybe it was last summer, we went crab hunting, fishing, I'm not sure what you'd call it, with the traps and all that, in some marshes. And it was a lot of fun, but honestly, man, it was a lot of work for not very good food. It's honestly, it's just pretty gross. I'm not a big fan at all of
Crabs?
any seafood. Any seafood. I
What do
like
you mean?
I like tuna. I like tuna steak.
Yeah.
Um,
What about catfish?
nope. Oh, no way. That's disgusting.
Yeah. That's some
That
old
would be
Baptist
like
stuff, man.
catfish. Catfish reminds me of an old trash bag on MacArthur that has probably been on the road for a little while. It's got some sand on it. It's got
Yeah.
maybe some
Character,
maybe a
flavor.
needle in it.
Hmm.
A
All right.
little bit of something else in it. I can't tell, but whatever. Like that's what a catfish would be to me. It's just gross.
Yeah, you're just Midwestern beef and corn, potatoes. Isn't that what you like?
Basically.
How old
But
were
that
you
tuna
when you
steak,
ate
that's
sushi for
fancy.
the first time?
I had never have, and I never will actually.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
I
everybody's got their weaknesses.
well, so I I was one of those kids that my mom would make me my own dinner if I didn't like what she was making. So there were a lot of things that I just didn't try until I was grown.
And sushi's one of those things. Y'all both
Yeah,
checked out at this point. I'm not checked out. We need to get back on track.
check on track of what? What do we need to talk about?
Nothing. Hey, fuck you, John Boy Billy. We don't have to stay on track of
Anybody
anything.
got an agenda?
Yeah, whatever, dude. We're just hanging
Yeah,
out.
you're not my boss.
Yeah. He thinks he used to be my boss. Um, I was such a better driver, a boat driver than Michael Hughes that we started off, well, you start off as a whatever, some lower stupid position like boat gunner. Ooh, shoot. And then
Some
if
of
you
the some of the message boards that I saw uh, made it look like he actually kind of sucked a little bit. I don't know
yeah,
if
Mike
that's
Hughes.
true, but yeah, it was weird.
Well, he wasn't good, and he's
That's just
always
what the
had
message boards
addiction
were saying.
problems and
Yep.
usually addicted to, I'm not gonna out you on here, Filipino women. And
That's what they said. That's
yeah,
what the message board said. That's
and
funny.
I'm not gonna go into any details, but he knows what this means. And he did that, or that was done to him a lot by Filipino women. It's crazy. Um, yeah, I was the first E5. Me and two of my friends were the first E5 boat captains in Riverine Squadron 2, and that's because of how badass we were. One was dang, who was the third? It was me, Jerry, and someone else. But it was me and two other E5s. Boat captain was usually an E7 position, and they would give it to really good E6s, never an E5. And me and two of my other buds, Jerry Keys and I can't remember the other one, were the first E5 boat captains because we're all and it was all basically judging us off of Michael Hughes. They're like, "How much do you hate Michael Hughes?" We're like, he sucks, he sucks," and we're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." They're like, "Hey boys, here's your boat captain pen," and it
Yeah,
was
because
honestly,
if you can figure that out, then you're a
you can,
smart guy.
yeah. Here's all the ranges and the patrol orders and the communication and the effective ranges of your weapon systems. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's not important. How bad do you hate Mike Hughes? This much. Yeah, he's still driving bouts. You sure are still driving bouts. Bouts of everything good. Everything good. You're great, Michael Hughes. I'm sorry. Did you watch that Zuckerberg interview with Rogan?
No. No.
The latest one. Well, I mean, no real big point of. I think he came on there just to save his reputation or whatever. But he was talking about how how Meta is shaking off the chains of libtards.
How
Uh,
convenient.
yeah, unwoken
In,
Facebook, putting
impeccable
Facebook.
timing.
Yeah, I know, convenient, right?
Yeah.
Uh, did you don't know anything about that?
No, I don't. I saw I saw I've seen pictures that talk about how they're not going to be spying anymore or whatever, but yeah, not tracking with it.
Here, wait a second. We're gonna have another unwelcome guest.
Hey, what's up, man?
Mute the video in the background, please.
What's up?
Mute your video in the background. Fucking idiot. Just kidding. Wasn't talking to you.
I got. Is that good?
Yeah. What's up? You wanted to call in?
Yeah,
This
I
is
want
like
to
a
go on
call-in
and talk
show,
to you,
little radio
mother
show.
truckers.
You wanted to call in and do what?
Talk to you guys.
Go ahead.
Is the background okay?
Yeah, background's great.
Okay. What are you guys talking about over here? You guys talking about Facebook or some shit? Cheese melons.
Talking about some shitty boat captain or something. I
I
don't know.
want to talk about whiskey black. The problem is because I had to mute my video. I think we're on a delay because I see his face staring at the phone.
Yeah, you're
That upsets me.
just
It
pay
makes-
attention to your
He
phone.
does
Don't
have
even look at the
he
video.
does have a very upsetting face. A lot of people have told me that.
People have told me they want to punch my face.
Yeah, it's
No,
it's
you gotta go
definitely.
pay that. First
I
of all,
love it. I love it, but some people hate it.
congratulations on your beard. I didn't know it was red. I originally saw your pubes, and they were red. I didn't know that would match your face, which is
Say that again?
nice.
How's that? Say that again.
Uh,
Cool.
do you hear J-Dub, Mike?
No, because I got you. There's a.
No, but you can hear it through the phone, can't you? Can't you hear him through the phone?
The
Not
moment's
through my
gone.
phone. There's not.
What I'm experiencing is the delay, and it's not working out. But
Tell your favorite whiskey black story.
most of it's my fault. Because I drank a lot, and it's my fault.
That's
Whiskey
bullshit.
Black is a bad bicycle driver, and it's not a good story of pew pew.
How did what do you mean I'm a bad bicycle driver? Because I was bigger, faster, and stronger and more athletic than you in every way.
Well, sand gets in the way of bicycles. By meaning there's two tires. Also,
It wasn't
his
sand.
sexuality. But when his first tire hit the first bit of sand, some things went bad.
I still have scars from this, by the way. I had pins put in my body from the incident that you're not describing very well and mocking.
Have you seen that video where the kids are like this one kid's getting ready to he's trying to go down a jump or something and they're all like, "You can do it. You can do it. Come on, you can do it." And then he goes and he just like completely bites it. Have you seen that?
No, and by the way, I'm mocking right now. I want to go on the record, and because I had to turn my TV off, so we're on a delay right now. And I know I'm mocking Clayton, but I actually do not mean that. Whiskey Black is the guy I know. He was my best friend, and he was the ultimate. I hate to use the word. We're not going to use the word operator because riverine is the best word.
Yep.
He was a great driver. He was my best friend, and he was the best. When we drove, I was a coxswain as well as he was, and we worked as two. And I knew every movement that he used, and I used to watch him through the window. And
We
he
were
was the
telepathic.
best driver. And so I want to make it very clear when I mock him, I miss him, and he was actually the best person ever. And when he left here, it actually we took a hit, by the way.
All right. That sounds gay.
No. Well, I won't keep running. I know it. I don't know what.
Do you remember that move?
You got a bunch of advertisers that are saying wrap it up right now. Is that what's going on? You got. Hey,
We don't have any advertisers
saying wrap it up.
No, we're on here for the long haul. Hey, do you remember that move? Do you remember that move that we
It's like
did
a telethon.
whenever we'd be coming in a single line, and then we'd peel off, and we'd end up is when we were attacking a beach for an onload or an offload, but we'd end up. I have to use my. Well, I want to use my hands, but it doesn't work. We'd be coming in behind each other, and I'm talking to the podcast. I know you know what I'm talking about, Mike. We'd be coming in like I'd be in front or he'd be in front. It doesn't matter. And one of us would peel off, and the other one would go the opposite way, like we'd wishbone, and then we'd end up, and we're going fast, like full throttle. Full throttle. We're going fast, and there's people on board that we're responsible for. Like there's a bunch of lives in our hand, plus the lives on the beach in the training that we're supposed to be rescuing or attacking, whatever.
Yeah.
And we'd end up going balls to the wall so fast. It was the scariest thing I've ever done, and split off, and then end up face to face where both where like my starboard side and his port side would just be laying down hate, or my boat would be shooting while his boat was picking up. It was one of these moves. But it was the scariest thing I've ever done. We did it a dozen times a night.
For anybody that's never been in that environment, like what would that, like, think of it in terms of like evoc. What speeds would that feel like in a in a charger or in a cruiser?
Well, I mean, I don't know. How fast were we going?
Well, I'm operating on delay right now. I'm seeing different stuff on my screen.
Don't look at the screen.
I'm seeing your buddy here, who's a beautiful man, by the way.
He
I
is.
say that?
Yeah, talk about beards. He's got a beard.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's all I see. So, no, I remember that, and I actually kind of forgot about a lot of that. But when I just got back from Bahrain, so we have a Zodiac that we have to work with.
You know what a Zodiac is, Justin?
I do not.
So
what's a Zodiac, Mike?
It's a small little 11 meter rib or
rigid hull inflatable boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being jokes right now? I don't know.
No, I'm talking to people that don't know our language.
Yeah. Yeah, cause I can't remember that shit. We actually took it out several times, and there's butt plugs in the back that we didn't plug, and then we both sunk a couple times.
Yeah.
You can't sink, by the way, in Zodiac as long as you're going fast.
That's right. If you stay on step, it won't sink.
Yeah, I know that because I refused to do the pre-checks, but yeah, so the last, as the old 40-year-old man, I went through Zodiac. We with what I do now, I work with the Zodiac, and I remember some stuff that we did at Riveron, and I miss it. I remember, and I can't remember exactly what kind of things we did.
Dirty things.
Yeah, we did a lot of gay stuff, but like I couldn't remember. It was all the dorks like Gallo and all them. I'm about to use some really bad words.
Don't use any slurs. Don't say anything that'll get me kicked off.
Slurs.
Don't.
But yeah, anyways, I was in the Zodiac the other day, and I loved it, man. So I missed that. So anyway, that's not a good story, but I was in the Zodiac, and I remember zoom, 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 zoom. But the other thing that came back, how silent our riverine boats were.
Yeah,
That
dude.
makes sense. I remember how quiet it was. I see you shaking my head. A delay. But I remember how silent boats are. That's all.
Yeah. Do you remember in the school, like whenever they were doing that insertion kind of display, like coming in at idle and dropping folks off and then leaving? You could be like 5 yards away from the shoreline, and if you have your back to if you have your back to the water, there could be a boat come in and drop off 6 guys with, heavy machinery and AKs or whatever. But if you're not specifically listening to that change, you would never know it. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, we did ran operations where like we knew they were coming and we would wait, and then
They would just be there and you didn't even see them show up.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it was like we knew they were coming and we'd watch and then just see, and we're like, okay, the hearing and seeing is different.
Man, that's such an awesome, badass mission. Surely they kept that going, right? Like they wouldn't just arbitrarily get rid of a program that was so effective and badass, would they?
No, they definitely would, and
Huh.
that ended up getting captured by Iran.
Yeah, it's weird. They gave our millions of dollars worth of equipment, disbanded the Riverines, and gave it to a bunch of MAs, secure and bosun's mates who can't read. I mean, lowest ASVAB scored possible waivers for bosun's mate. Anyway, gave it to a bunch of cops and dumb sailors, and they ended up getting rolled up on and getting captured.
Yep. I I got into y'all's podcast. I apologize, and I want your buddy to be able to talk as well. But I apologize for that.
No, I'm glad you're here, man.
I was in Bahrain, and I actually had a guy roll up and say he was a part of Riveron, and he was in San Diego, and it was that whole same old bullshit.
Yeah,
but
stolen valor, which is weird. If you're gonna steal valor, you don't need to steal River Reigns. Like, aim high.
it's the worst.
Yeah, don't steal our valor. Steal someone else's.
You know, I worked with Ablet, by the way, for a year.
No, I didn't know that.
Ablet's I don't know. The Ablet's a prior guy. I don't know if you know Ablet, but Mike Ablet's someone. I think he was probably prior to you, by the way.
Ohio beat Texas.
Yeah.
Thank God. Fuck Texas.
So I don't want to do a Debbie Downer. And what do you guys talk about on your podcast? Because
No, you're good. Do
we need to talk about Diggs?
No. Not right now.
Okay.
We'll talk about that more, me and you, offline.
Okay.
We're both church boys. Me and Justin grew up Western evangelicals, and over the last couple years, we've had a bunch of big changes in our theological views. We call that deconstruction, but whatever. We still both consider ourselves. I'm just telling you about. We both still consider ourselves Christians, but this comes up a lot about like how our view on God has. Like I think.
So why do you want to talk about Diggs?
I don't want to talk about Diggs because I don't want to start crying on this podcast.
Okay. I support that. I apologize then.
No, it's good. We're here. Diggs was a friend and mentor of ours. From
does the other guy know Diggs as well?
Yeah, I talked to him when all that went on.
Okay.
I did reach out to you. I told you about Diggs when that happened.
Yeah. I didn't have the same number, and maybe I didn't have that number, by the way. So if you did reach out to me, as soon as I went to Bahrain, I lost that number, so
It was on
apologize.
Messenger.
Okay.
Yeah, a mentor and friend of ours, and I'm not, he was also very human and very awesome, but had his own hangups. Took his life back in September. Took his own life, and the community took it real hard because everybody loved Diggs. He was one of those guys
I
that
agree.
uh I don't know, there might have been some haters.
Well, no, can I tell you something though?
Yeah.
I think I don't want to make it a negative thing, but I was in Bahrain, by the way.
Oh, really?
When that happened, and a guy I know, Cornelius,
Yeah.
was with him.
Use first names, don't use a lot of last names.
Cornelius is actually his first name, by the way.
Okay.
He was with Diggs when he was like a seaman, meaning Diggs was a seaman.
Yeah.
And he was on the first ship with him. And he was the guy that we all, in Bahrain, we all had a car. So we all rode 2 cars together. So this is the guy I rode together to work every single day.
Cornelius.
Cornelius, yeah. A big black guy.
Okay.
And this is actually a good story, and it means it's good on Diggs because, like, he knew Diggs so well. He knew Diggs as an E2,
Yeah.
E3, like as the
junior, no nothing.
Yeah, and no, and it wasn't even an engineer. What they actually, those guys get real personal about it. It's not an engineer, but they had a specific type of engineer that they did.
Right.
And he knew him as that. And so he was in the car with me the morning we found out he passed away. So Cornelius knew him very early in Diggs's career. And I knew him late in his career. So it was a very weird thing. And we rode together at 6 a.m. in the morning every single day. And we both got in the car together and we said, "Did you hear?"
Yeah.
And so it was a very odd thing that we were both overseas to hear that and be in Bahrain and ride together to work together when this guy knew him as a U2 and I knew him as a Riverine.
Yeah. You saw him when he made chief.
I think that's something. I don't know, man. That was such a weird thing to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. It hurts, man.
But I think in a way, like, not to like let it hurt all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, he touched a lot of people, meaning this is a old black man that I love, actually, Cornelius. And he works with me in Bahrain. But he Diggs before you and I knew him.
Yeah.
He knew him before you and I did.
Yeah.
So he had touched so many people. And I think that's, there's nothing you and I can do about it, but it's just a different way to look at it, meaning like, it's a life. It's a long life.
Yeah. Yeah, it was long and full. Like every he always brought something to the table. He always brought something to the table, even if it was just a joke to relieve the stress that we were all feeling. Everywhere he was benefited by him.
Absolutely. It's crazy. Even in Bahrain, everybody knew him, dude.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a positive thing. Like, I understand the hurt. But it hit us over there as well, man. So,
Are you gonna drive up there and see him?
yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know.
I haven't.
I don't do that kind of. Do you want to go with me? I don't do that, man. To be honest with you,
We need to.
I would love to. I don't know what to do. I just feel weird. I don't know. Where
Yeah.
do we go?
There, I think in Suffolk, I think is where his grave is.
Okay, I'll go. Now I'm in the States now, so I'll go.
Um, May, May or June time frame is
I'll
what.
say May.
Well, I'm
I'd
saying
rather do it.
that May or June time frame is when I'll be available.
Well, I'm available for May or June, so whatever you.
Okay.
I'm super easy here, so
Yeah,
it'd be good to see you too. By the way,
it'd be real good to see you. How fat have you gotten?
what'd you say?
How fat have you gotten? I mean, I know it's a lot, but give me a range. 30, 40.
Man, I'm trying to. I got stomach surgery, by the way.
Did it work?
Not what you're thinking, by the way.
You got your tummy stapled to
No,
try to
100%. That's not. No, I've had acid reflux my whole life.
I think it's reflux.
So in Bahrain, we actually got good doctors there.
Yeah, the kind of doctors that would do surgery on my wrist without any pain medication.
You're gonna make fun of me no matter what I say, but they hooked me up, dude. So like I had acid reflux my whole life, dude. And if I sat down and all that shit, and when I dipped and drank whiskey, but point being, I had a flap in my stomach. You don't give a shit.
I do. I'm hanging on the edge of my seat.
But I got it taken care of. Basically, healthcare is better in Bahrain than here. 100%, dude. It was so easy.
I mean, they definitely seem more professional, and yeah, and it's an easier process. You don't have to go through.
Dude, so much better, dude. How much can I say, dude?
I don't know. Go for it. I'm gonna count to 10, and you say it as much as you can. Ready?
Dude.
1, 2, 3, 4. You quit.
Hey, I took over your podcast. I apologize.
You're all
Are
right.
you guys still doing your shit right now?
Yeah, we'll keep this going until we run out of steam. This is normal for us. We're at 2 hours or an hour and a half.
Is this still live?
Hey, I do have to throw in there that I agreed to be
It's
off
not
by
live,
10:30,
right?
so my son could have the Wi-Fi back.
We're about to hop
Just
off.
so you know.
I fucked it up. My bad.
You didn't. You didn't. Actually, we started with you, and I think we're gonna wrap it with you.
Don't rap me.
All right. I love you, buddy. Thank you for calling. I'm gonna chat with you later. Okay. That's how he shows his emotions. I say I love you, and he hangs up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we got deep there. There's nothing really. I mean, there's nothing to conclude with this, huh? We just had a good hang sesh.
Yeah. Maybe maybe we could just make our Friday night episodes just do them live. I don't know. That's fun.
I like that. Um, one recorded with a can, and one live a week.
Yeah, I dig it.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna
Thanks everyone for
wrap
hanging
it
out
up
with
and-
us. We have an email. What's our email, Justin?
I don't know.
You do because I sent it to you earlier.
Hang on a second.
It's podcast lawless.
You sent it as a text?
Don't worry about it. It's podcastlawless@gmail.com. If you guys want anything, you can message. You can message on the YouTubes, you can message the Facebook channel, or you can email podcastlawless@gmail.com. We'll take requests. We'll take whatever you want. If you want to be a guest on here, hit us up. You got a pretty good chance.
Yeah, we don't have real high standards yet.
Yeah, but we do have
Not not that any. I mean, anybody that's been on has been exceptional. I'm just saying.
I don't think we've had any guest episodes air yet.
Oh, really?
We have 4
Okay.
in the can.
That's-
One of them's going to drop on Monday. The other one's going to drop on Friday. So the Frasier is going to be a 2-parter, Monday, Friday. And then TPOC's gonna be, I think, the next week, Monday, Friday.
Wait,
All right. You guys want anything? Message us. Love you. Thank God for Ohio Buckeyes.
later.
Bye.